Um, Welcome to the show again. Welcome. Um, Last week was a very tense week for Kenyans. Yeah, it was a very tense week for Kenyans. Yeah, because Kenyans across the country and around the world were glued to their TVs, waiting for the Supreme Court verdict. Yeah, we were like, an expectant mother waiting for a baby. And uh, uh, the Supreme Court did not disappoint. Yeah, they delivered a baby in time. And the baby is Jubilee government. I'm telling you now. Okay, if you thought they were going to take too long, no. They delivered on time, and you know, this time round, the son of Jomo finally nailed it. Yeah, that guy got it exactly. During a church service, at St. Mary's School, yeah, President-elect Uhuru Kenyatta said that he was also tense during the period, during the time leading up to the verdict. He was very tense. Now, he said that's the reason why he did not go with his family. He did not accompany his family for the vacation. Yeah, he said he was very tense also. He said he spent much of his time watching the Hoja Mahakamani. Trying to gauge and figure out or predict how the things are gonna go according to the Hoja Mahakamani and Supreme Court. That he was trying to figure out exactly. So, and I don't know if you watch the Supreme Court proceedings. It was a busy week. It was a busy week at the Supreme Court. They were very busy. It was like some marketplace exactly. So the so-called learned friends, the so-called learned friends spend most of their time trying to outlearn the other, that's what they were doing exactly. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, the Supreme Court proceedings were mostly smooth. Yeah, things were mostly smooth. That was until former presidential candidate Naslin Umar decided to spoil the party. Yeah, she decided to spoil the party. And you know what? She almost turned the thing into, she almost managed to turn the thing into some episode of Nigerian movie, where people shout at each other. Yeah, she almost turned the Supreme Court into that, And it took one smoke in Wanjala, to smoke her back into her seat, if she ever had one in the first place. Yeah. So it was drama. It was drama at the High Court. It was drama. And what else? Yeah, it's interesting because currently the Supreme Court only has 6 judges. Yeah, they only have 6 sitting judges, but somehow they managed to deliver a 9-0 verdict against the petition of the Supreme Court. They managed to deliver a 9-0 verdict. So you wonder where the hell did the 3 extra judges come from? You just wonder. But oh well, it turns out IEBC helped them register the 3 extra judges on the side, and IEBC actually claims that the 3 extra judges were people with disability. Yeah, so now you know why. Exactly. Yeah. Oh boy, and it's interesting. It's very interesting, because how the hell did all the 6 judges arrive at the same decision? How the hell did all of them arrive at the same decision? Because, thinking about it, these are guys who are supposed to be thinking independently. Yeah, they are guys who are supposed to be thinking independently. But somehow they managed to get a 6-0 verdict. Now, as a matter of fact, I expected them to have a 5-1 verdict, or a 4-2 verdict, or maybe a 3-3 verdict. That's a tie, But, oh boy, they got a 6-0. Yeah. So, here's what I think. Next time we have a case at the Supreme Court, we don't need all the 6 or 7 judges. All we need is just one of them to deliver a verdict on behalf of the rest. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, we don't need all of them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And during the first day of its sitting, the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Willie Mutunga ordered lead counsel Fred Ngatia to buy lunch for all his peers. Yeah, he was ordered to buy lunch for all his peers. And it is also said that during the day of verdict, on Saturday, lead counsel George Oraro was also ordered to buy whiskey shots for all his peers also, same thing. While lawyer Kathy Kilonzo was ordered to take care of ice cream at a later date to be determined later. Now, these guys, I think these guys work together, Did they know something that we don't know, I don't know, but, it's for you to judge. Exactly, yeah. And talking of lawyer Kathy Kilonzo, man, wasn't she awesome? Yeah, she was awesome. This is a young judge who knows her stuff. Yeah, she knows her stuff. And you know, she knows how to work the ropes. She did an excellent job, I'm telling you. Now, it is said that after her stunning performance, you know, she got all kind of requests around the world, you know, as far places as China, or as they call it, amicus curiae. You know, this girl is now a celebrity in her own right. I'm telling you, she's good, exactly, yeah. And talking about amicus curiae, you know, yeah, after his application or after his request to be a friend of the Supreme Court was accepted, Attorney General Gedi Muigai is said to be very excited. He was very excited, you know. And you know, it is also said that he immediately went on a frenzy, you know, friendship frenzy. He said to also have sent a request to Pope Francis, Nelson Mandela, Queen Elizabeth, Lionel Messi, and the Kardashians, among many others, you know. This guy is sending friendship requests, I'm telling you. After that, he's sending many of them, exactly, yeah. Oh boy, what else? And after the verdict, you know, after the verdict, Prime Minister Raila Odinga came out to accept the verdict, you know. He came out to accept the verdict. You know, being a typical Luo, you know, he had to do it with a swag, yeah. You know, this guy came out and accepted the verdict. He did not concede defeat, you know. He accepted the verdict, not conceding defeat. You know, he did it in style, yeah. He did it in style, I'm telling you, exactly. This is swag, I'm telling you, this is swag, yeah. And, you know, after Prime Minister lost in the just concluded election, you know, after he lost, it is being said that the Luo community are now looking for a replacement, yeah. They are looking for somebody to fit in Raila's shoes. You know, one thing, you know, fitting in Raila's shoes is not very easy. It's not very easy, you know, because you have to have the exact size of shoes, I mean, the exact size of toes, you know, to fit in his shoes. Yeah, so, you know, it's going to be very difficult. Now, here's what I think. I think Miguna can fit in those shoes. I think he fits the bill, you know, because think of it. This is a guy who can afford to lose a shoe here, lose a hat there, you know, and so, still soldier on to write one book or other, of course, after going for a vacation in Canada, you know. So this guy is tough. He's tough. I think he can fit in the shoes. Exactly. He can do that. Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, what else? And also in the news, the President-elect Uhuru Kenyatta has to be sworn in between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Yeah, he has to be sworn in between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. You know, I think that's good news. You know, finally, you know, after the last president was sworn in at midnight, finally Kenyans can have a president sworn in the broad daylight. I'm telling you, it's not monkey business anymore. Exactly, you know, this is good news for Kenya. Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, what else? Also in the news, you know, the 47 county governors were sworn in last week also, you know. They were sworn in last week also. And, you know, these guys were very creative, you know. It was interesting. These guys were very creative, you know. Nairobi Governor christened his ride NCC1, you know, Nairobi City Council 1. Yeah. While Machakos Governor named his Machakos 1. And Uasin Gishu Governor just named his governor, you know, yeah. You know, Kalejins are people of few words, you know. Kalejins are people of few words. Of course, not unless you are one of their son, William Ruto. Then you can talk the whole day, exactly, yeah. Oh boy, and, you know, and not wanting to be left out, you know, not wanting to be left out. Mombasa governor named his ride Mombasa Raha 1, while Kisumu governor named his Ground Force 1, you know, just like Air Force 1. And Kakamega governor named his Mulembe 1, yeah? And get this, Turkana governor named his Oil Discovery 1, you know? So these guys are creative. These guys are creative. So if there's any sign of things to come, we are doing good, exactly. We're going somewhere. Yeah, we're going somewhere, exactly, yeah. Oh boy, what else? You know, Gedi Muigai has been getting on the wrong side of everybody, you know? He's been stepping on some shoes. You know, this time round, he got on the wrong side of the governors, you know. He told them not to fly their flags. Yeah, that's what he told them, not to fly the flags, you know. And instead, he advised them to fly a real aircraft, you know. Don't fly flags, but try flying a real aircraft. Yeah, that was his advice to them. Exactly. And, you know, the MPs were also sworn in, yeah. The MPs were also sworn in, you know. And a few MPs who were interviewed said they were very excited. Yeah, they said they were very excited. You know, they also say that they were determined to continue the tradition of sleeping in parliament. Yeah, they say they were also determined to continue sleeping in parliament. Exactly, yeah, I'm telling you. And still on the MPs, yeah, still on the MPs, you know, a prank story carried out on Monday, April Fool's Day, you know, the first, actually claimed or intoned that the MPs were going to get a three-piece meal, you know, a three-piece meal. That means breakfast, lunch, and dinner, yeah. That was the story, but it was a prank, you know. And actually, they got me, those guys got me, because I almost believed that, you know, I almost believed that. You know, while many Kenyans like me fell for the story, you know, like many Kenyans like me fell for the story, the MPs actually fell in love with the story, yeah. They fell in love with the story, you know. They actually said that that was a dream come true, yeah. They said that was a dream come true. They said they've been waiting, they've been dreaming for too long, you know, so it was finally a dream come true. And they actually vowed to transform the story into reality, you know, yeah. They vowed to transform the story into the reality. And you know, as they call it now, Vision 2013. Yeah, Vision 2013, I'm telling you, these guys are dangerous. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Oh boy, and still on the MPs, you know, still on the MPs. The MPs were very furious, you know, they were very furious. And they said they were out to teach the Salary Remuneration Commissioner, Ms. Sarah Serem, a lesson, you know, just like they did to the former KACC chairman, Patrick Lumumba. Yeah, that's what they said. They said they were going to teach her a lesson, you know. You know what the lesson is? Here's the lesson, you know, how to sleep in parliament and get paid anyway. Yeah, that's the lesson they tend to teach her. Exactly, exactly, yeah. And Crazy Monday reports that, you know, one poll, you know, that is a global research company, you know, that one poll says that men spend 76 minutes gossiping and talking to their friends. Yeah, that's what they say, you know. And on the other side, women only spend 52 minutes doing the same, you know. That was very shocking. That was very shocking. You know, shocking until you realize that most of those men interviewed for the survey came from the Pulse, you know. You know what Pulse is? It's their sister paper. So they all came from there. So that's no surprise. No surprise. They're all gossipers. Exactly. Exactly. Oh boy. And what else? Yeah, you know, yeah, the controversial advert, Weka Condom Mpangoni, will finally be back on air, yeah? It will be back on air finally, you know. The ad was pulled off the air after an mid-outrage, you know, outrage by religious leaders and some other groups, you know. They complained that the ad was promoting immorality, you know, yeah. So the ad was pulled off the air. But now it's going to be coming back, you know. And here is a compromise, you know. They had to get a compromise. The ad is not going to be called Weka Condom Mpangoni anymore, yeah? It won't be called Weka Condom Mpangoni anymore. It will now be known as Weka Condom Pangoni. Exactly, Weka Condom Pangoni. Yeah, that's the new, exactly, that's the new vibe, I'm telling you. And lastly, during an interview with BBC, Prime Minister Raila Odinga actually said that he fully did not support the Supreme Court verdict. You know, he said he fully did not support the Supreme Court verdict. He actually said that Supreme Court was just one of the avenues. Yeah, that's what he said. He said Supreme Court was one of the avenues, you know. He said the other avenues he has is Moi Avenue, Kenyatta Avenue, Haile Selassie Avenue, you know, among many others. Yeah, the guy has many options. Exactly. Yeah.